Alrighty, welcome everybody. It is Tuesday night and we are ready to do some stamping. So I am going to be introducing another new suite in the annual catalog. So stay tuned for that. First, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if this is your first time to my Facebook Live, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's probably a replay. But either way, whether you're watching me live or on on a replay, you can actually type in the comments. Let me know you're here. Also, if you have a question, type those in and I will actually see those later. So we're going to do some card making tonight. But first, let me take care of some housekeeping that I always do right at the beginning of my videos. So bear with me. Goodness. Okay, first off, my May hostess code is listed right there. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. There's my email information. My Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram pages are all Julie's Creative Stamping. To get to my YouTube channel, you have to click Julie Brown Julie's Creative Stamping. And the most important is my blog, stampinjuliebrown.blogspot.com. Why do I say that's the most important? Because I will be showing you at the end of this video, as I did last video, a bunch of different cards that I've made with this suite that I do not do videos on, but I do put the step-by-step instructions in my blog. So make sure you check out my blog for any of the other cards that you might see tonight that you might be interested in. Also, I have a really fun event coming up. And that's, unfortunately, this is an in-person one, but it is my annual catalog open house. It's going to be this Saturday, May 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this is a come and go event. And what that means is I am going to have some make and takes set out. You can do up to 3 make and takes, and you can just come. If you want to make one, make one. If you don't want to make any, don't make any. But you can come and look at all of the new products because I will have examples of cards made with all of the suites that I have. There's also discount coupons available, a door prize drawing full of goodies. And if you bring a friend who's never attended one of my events, you'll get extra entries for that door prize. And this is totally free. So if you are in the Farmington, New Mexico area, pop on in between 10 and 3 this Saturday. And if you're don't know where I live and you need to find out, let me put this back up. You can just email me at juliescreativestamping@gmail.com and I will get you my address. So there we go. Okay, so I think we've got all housekeeping taken care of. So now let's look at the suite. We are going to be looking, the suite is actually called Butterfly Kisses. And the kind of the way Stampin' Up! Names the suites is it's usually the same name as the designer series paper. But this suite includes all of this paper, actually more than you see here because you get 4 of each of the double-sided designs. So that's really cool. And then you get the stamp set and the die set. And then you get these really cool, fun resins, flower resins. Let me put those closer so you can see those. So fun, 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 right? So like I said, you get 4 of each of the double-sided designs. So here's all the paper that it has. It's got some really fun paper because some of this paper you can actually cut out. There's not dies, but you can fussy cut out. And you'll see some cards later that I made where I actually fussy cut out some of these butterflies. But what a fun set. It is such a fun set. So let's get started because I'm going to show you 2 quick cards. Quick and easy cards made with this particular suite. Oh, and I wanted to put this. So within that suite, the way the suite works is you have one number, hey Mel, and you can order that suite with just the one number. And that was that first number that I showed you. But within that suite is the bundle. And the bundle includes the stamp set and the die, or sometimes it's a stamp set and a punch. And then also within that bundle is the Butterfly Kisses. And anytime you see me put DSP, that means Designer Series Paper. Alrighty, so this is the suite that we're going to be working with tonight. So let me get all of this out of the way so that you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so let's bring in my first card. And what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of build the card front to begin with. So I'm using Starry Night as my card base. And those of you that did my paper share, you're going to be getting some of this paper in the paper share. So good for you guys for doing that. I did a paper and ribbon share where I cut all the 12 by 12 down to 6 by 6, and you got a sampling of all of the new designer series paper in the annual catalog. So fun. This was my first year doing this, where I made it available to everybody and not just my team. So if you guys don't have it yet, it's on the way. Okay. So we're going to put this really pretty design down here, and then and this is just an opposite side of that one. And then we're just going to stick this one right on top of that one. So we're going to get that out of the way first. Then we're going to do some stamping and die cutting. And I'm actually going to bring in a set of dies, one of the new set of dies that are standalone dies. And let me show them to you because they're kind of cool. They are called the Deckled rectangle dies. And this is what they look like. So instead of having stitching, it's kind of like they're torn. So pretty cool, but you're going to get to see these in action tonight. All right, so now what we're going to do, let me see if I remember how I did this. I believe I need this piece here. And we are going to bring in, I'm going to be using Calypso Coral and Starry Night ink. But hold on, I put it in a box. So hold on one second. I apologize for that. I'm getting ready for that open house, and so I'm getting the make and takes ready, and so I have moved some of the inks into boxes that they are going to be. I have like little containers that I put them in with all of the kits. Okay, so this is Starry Night, and we're going to use this really fun image here. And I'm just going to stamp that as far up as I can because I'm going to need room for a sentiment and for those rectangle dies. And then I'm going to bring in some Calypso Coral ink. And we're going to do this, other wing. Boy, I'm dropping things tonight. Hey, Shanine. Welcome, welcome. So this is the Butterfly Kisses Suite with that bundle and all the fun stuff that goes with that. We've just started, so you haven't missed hardly anything. So I've just stamped those wings in 2 different colors. And then I'm going to come in and let me see. I'm going to go ahead and measure to make sure I get this the right direction here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of sit this die down. Now, this is a good idea to do when you know you're going to be like stamping and then cutting it out. And for those, if you came in late, these are the new Deckled rectangle dies. And so I'm going to stamp it with one of the sentiments that says, "You're my bestie." And you can see that I can just go ahead and stamp that with that die sitting right there. And that just kind of helps me get that lined up so that I know I have enough room to cut it out. So that's just kind of a little tip for tonight on if you're like what I'm doing where I'm cutting out a lot of different things from the same paper. I want to make sure I'm leaving myself enough room for the other thing. So I probably should have stamped that first, and then I could have stamped the wings, knowing that I had plenty of room to get all of that on there. So that's just a quick idea for that. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in, I think I need to, Oh, you know what? I think I've got to cut this in half just because I'm using my mini die cut machine. So I'm going to cut it fairly close up here to this. Normally you don't have to do this, but if you're using your big die cut machine, but I'm using the mini tonight. And excuse my plates. You can see it's well used, well loved and well used, right? So we're going to stick these in. Now, let me show you something about these dies. So you'll notice that the dies come with both a detailed, or what I call a standalone, and then the outside die. When you're stamping, you only need to use the outside one. But when you're cutting this out of, let's say, cardstock, then you need to use both of them so that this design actually cuts out. I hope that made sense. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. All right, so we're just going to stick this on here. And I have just gotten into the habit of using my Post-it notes. There's times where I really don't need to, but, you know, just so that I don't mess it up. And then this one is the one that goes with this one. And so we're just going to grab another little piece of that Post-it note. Oh, and I may have stamped that too close to this edge. Let's hope it cuts out okay. We shall see if that works. So let's roll this through and see if that comes out okay. Oh, it did just fine. So see how cute that looks when it's cut out? So there's one, and here's two. Let me see if I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to show you what I mean about when, like, because I stamped it, I can use that outside edge. But let's say that I wanted to, remember how this looked? This is how it looked together. And so let's say that I just wanted to cut out this wing with this design on it. And so what you need is you actually need both that inside design and the outside design together so that it cuts out the wing. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I'm going to run this through, because you need that outside one. Megan, hello. It was so long ago that I taught you how to do this. I know. I wish you lived closer. You could come to my classes. But do you see what I mean? How so it cut the wing out with the design, but then that outside edge actually cut the wing out. So that's what I'm talking about when you want the design, you have to use both pieces. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. That's funny. Tori was just talking about you the other day, Megan, saying that she hadn't heard from you in a while. I'm going to have to tell her you were on here tonight. Okay, so this is that one. And then this is those new rectangle dies that makes it look really fun. And I'm going to kind of cut it to where the left side, I have more on the left side, and you'll see why. It's because of how I'm placing this on my card. So now we're going to run this through. And then we're going to cut out one thing, which is going to be the butterfly body. Now these butterflies, we've had a lot of really like pretty delicate butterflies. So see how that cuts? It looks like you tore it. So you know how we tear them a lot? Isn't that cool? I love this set. It is so fun. But this butterfly set is kind of, oh, I need to cut out one of the bodies. Okay, so you can see I've already used this for the bodies. So I'm just going to bring in this, that's the butterfly body, and we're just going to bring in that die. Anyway, this is more of a, like, I don't know, like it's almost like a 70s vibe with these butterflies. That's the vibe I'm getting from them. You guys might get a different vibe, but I'm getting kind of a 70s vibe. Even with the font on the sentiments, that's just kind of what it's making me feel like. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Okay, so now to put these wings together, the way I'm doing it, and it doesn't mean that this is the only way, but I usually will put these two pieces together like so, and then I'm going to bring in some liquid glue, and I'm just going to put the glue up that middle section right there. And then what I do is I bring in that body that I just cut out, and I just kind of lay that carefully down. And so it's actually the body that is going to be holding these wings together. What do you guys think? Isn't that a cute butterfly? Is it just me, or is this like a 70s vibe? Are you guys getting the whole 70s vibe as well with this? I am. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we are just going to take some, I think I stuck it to the thing. Okay, so I am going to just bring in my Stampin' Seal Plus and get a little bit of that on this. And then I'm just going to bring this in, and I want this to be about 1/4 of an inch. Well, I guess that's where I'm setting it because it's pretty much stuck right there. Okay, so I want that to be about 1/4 of an inch from this edge. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in some dimensionals, and we are going to pop it up. Oh, so I'm glad, Mel, you're getting that 70s vibe as well. I thought it was just me, you know, old schooling it. And of course, those of you that are young may not think about the 70s vibe, but okay, so maybe for you guys, like Scooby-Doo, like, right? It's got like, look at this wording. Doesn't that remind you of like Scooby-Doo? And the Scooby-Doo van? Yeah, that's exactly, when I saw this set, I immediately thought about Scooby-Doo and bell bottoms. Mini skirts, right? That was everything that was going on in the 70s. So how fun. So cool dude, right? Or except maybe they didn't say dude back then. Okay, so now we're just going to pop this little butterfly up, and we're just going to angle it so that you can see these words kind of between the wings. So it's just going to go on like that. All right. And then I'm going to come back and finish the front in one quick second, but I want to do the inside of this card. And so for the inside, I did another kind of fun little, I'm going to need a scrap piece of paper here, so hold on, bear with me. So what I wanted to do with this was kind of make it look like the butterfly was kind of flying in on one end and flying out on the other. So I'm going to use those same stamps. Yeah, this is a fun one, Shanine. This one is so fun. And wait till you see, I'm going to show you at the end of this all of the different cards that I have made with this set. I've actually made 9 cards, including the 2 that you're going to see tonight. So crazy, right? Oh, I didn't get out my, I'm going to need to stamp the body this time because I didn't. So you can both stamp the body and, of course, die cut it, which you just already saw me do. So let me just get this one on a block. So this is just my little body. And so we want to, like, bring in the body, like, right here. Like so. I need to clean those off. And then at the top, I'm going to make it kind of, I'm going to use that bottom color and that bottom design. And there's a lot of different designs, so let me just show you. So I'm using this one and this one, but there's all of these different designs that you can stamp. And I'm going to show you these in other cards. It's just a really fun set. I mean, you can sit and play with this set forever and just have tons and tons of fun. It's so much fun to play with. And then I'm going to bring it like this butterfly was coming in, right? And you could even come in and stamp that down there, but I'm not. I'm just going to kind of leave that at the top. And then we're going to come like it's flying out up there. And then we're going to come in with that body again on that butterfly. And of course, we just want the tail end coming off here. So how cute is that? Right? In and out. In and out. So I'm kind of not liking that I did this up a little higher. So I'm going to actually come in and bring in a little bit of that color down there at the bottom. Just because, right? So, and it's because I did it upside down. Now I realize what I did. I put those wings upside down, but that's okay. Still works. All right, let me clean this. And then we're going to come in with another one of these sentiments. So on the front, I put "You're my bestie." And on the inside, we are going to put "So glad you exist." Do you have those friends, right? That you're so glad they exist. You're so glad they're part of your life. I kind of feel like that about most of you guys that are on here with me. But yeah, you know, you always have those people that are just extra special in your life. Okay, so we're just going to bring this in and let's see if I can manage to stamp straight. Woohoo! You guys don't know how exciting that is for me when I actually stamp straight, because I have a camera that is facing down, and so I can't get my head in there like I normally do. So yeah, it makes it a little more difficult for me to get that straight. Okay, so then this is going to go on the inside. So let me just get this. And I'm just using my Stampin' Seal Plus. And always check to make sure that your card's up, right? Facing up. Because I have done that before where I'm not paying attention and I end up putting it over here the wrong way. So always make sure that you double check, sometimes triple check, that you've got your card facing the right way when you're putting the inside in. Okay, so there's that so far. So now we're going to add some of these really fun, and I'm just going to burnish this one more time. So now we're going to add some of these fun flowers, and I have one that I've already used, so I'm going to bring that one in. And I'm actually going to use the Starry Night, and these are little flowers. At first I thought they were butterflies, but they're not. They're flowers, and they're so much fun. Okay, so I'm just going to pick one of these up and stick it here, and then grab a couple of the little ones, and we'll put one there and one there. And then I'm going to grab another big one and put up here, and another little one and put right there. You know, when you add the embellishments, it really like makes a difference. So what do you guys think? How fun was that card? And so quick and easy, guys. You're my bestie. So glad you exist, right? So much fun. So loving that card. Okay, so for the next card, we're going to use the standalone dies. So let me bring in what we're doing here. And I'm going to kind of build this card. So this is Fresh Freesia, which is one of the in colors from last year. And so what I did with this one, I did this ahead of time. So I have the brick embossing folder. Isn't that cool? If you guys don't have this embossing folder, an absolute must have. I love this folder. And because it's an embossing folder, do you see how there's like indents in the back? So I try not to use my Stampin' Seal with this. I try to use liquid glue just because then it will kind of go down in those creases and you'll get a better hold. So that's just my opinion. I know that differs from other demonstrators, but that's just how I feel about when I'm using the embossing folders. So I did this ahead of time where I embossed this in that folder. But what a fun look with the brick, right? And you can even, just so you know, because this is like, there's high and low spots, you could come in with some blending brushes and put some color on this if you ever wanted to. Okay, so then we're coming in with some strips next. Again, fresh freesia, and then this is one of those papers from the designer series paper that's in that, the part of the designer series paper in this suite. And we're just going to get some Stampin' Seal Plus on here, and we're going to add it. I'm going to try to get this centered really good. Sorry, this is really hard for me to do centering when I can't get my head like right over it, which is what I'm used to doing. Okay, and then I always check because I do cut my pieces a little bit longer. So like if I'm telling you that this is like a 1 by 5.5, I always cut it just a smidge more than the 5.5, or I guess this would be 4 by 5.25, just so I can make sure it's going to fit. And then we're just going to place this onto this right here like so. Again, both of these cards are really quick cards tonight. Whoops, there we go again. Oh, see, I get in a hurry with this and it tries to tear my cardstock, especially when I'm at the almost at the end of that. It's almost out. And just so you know, when any of these tape runners get close to out, they have a tendency to be harder to use. Okay, so there's that so far. So then what I'm going to do is we are going to come in and we're going to do some die cutting. So along with this set, besides being able to stamp and cut out, it also has these really pretty standalone butterfly dies that are a little bit fancier. So we're going to bring these in. And then we're also going to be cutting out another one of those deckled rectangles. Sorry, I'm trying to watch to make sure everything's working right on my Facebook, because there's been some technical difficulties. So I'm just going to take a little bit, and you guys know I use these Post-it. It comes like this. You can get this from Amazon. And this is what I've been using to like hold my dies in place. And then we're going to bring that. This is my baby mini die cut machine. And we're just going to run this through. So here we go. And I'm going to kind of, I usually don't have to go through twice, but this is a more detailed die. So I am going to go ahead and go through that twice. I haven't really been needing to do that. Usually only if I put adhesive strips on the back. So don't know why I felt like I needed to do that tonight. But again, I just got to show you this edging on this. Isn't that cool? Look at that. It looks like it looks like you've torn it. So way cool. So let's just pull these off. We're going to stick those back on my little magnetic plate that I have for my dies. All right, and then we're just going to pull these off of here. And it's going to leave a bunch of pieces, which I'm going to scrape off. So let me just get those scraped off. I'm scraping that off into my trash. I've got one more thing to cut out, so I'll be bringing that in. But I just kind of want to show you. And of course, I use my Take-A-Pick tool to just kind of, and you'll see I'm not having to push hard, but I'm just pushing all those little pieces out. But see how pretty these flowers are? So besides being able to create that fun butterfly that I just did I say flowers? Oh my gosh, I'm losing it tonight. Then it's got these beautiful little detailed flowers as well. So again, tons of fun. All right, I'm going to set these to the side. And then I am going to bring in, I've got one more little piece of paper. And so I'm going to show you a little trick. So this particular sentiment, I don't know if you can see it, but it says sending good vibes. But I didn't want it to be that long. And so I'm going to die cut this, and then I'm going to show you how I made it fit the way I wanted it to fit, because I wanted to use this smaller die. So we're going to cut this out, and then I'm going to show you a masking technique. And I have my new masking paper, but I'm not going to use it just yet today because I just got it in, and so I haven't had a chance to play with it. So I always play with it first just in case there's any like quirky things that you need to know about it. Usually there's not, but just in case, I like to be prepared and be able to tell you guys about anything that you need to be aware of when you're using some of the new product. Okay, so as you can see, this is not going to fit on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in this Post-it note, and I am going to block off the word vibes. And then I am going to ink this up with Fresh Freesia ink. You want this? Yay, Pat, you can order it. This is such a fun set. Hopefully you still have my link that you can order it. Okay, so then I'm gonna, this is the most important thing. Make sure you take it off before you stamp. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna try not to stick my head in here, but I wanna just line this up as far up to the top as I can get it, and then we're gonna stamp sending good, like so. Then I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off, and then we're gonna do the exact opposite. So now I'm going to mask off the other side, and I'm gonna kind of wave that so it dries a little quicker so that the Post-it note will hold on. And now I'm going to do this side. And I'm going to bring in another piece just to get all of this covered. All right. And then we're going to ink up the word vibes. It's good to hear from you, Pat. I see your posts on Facebook a lot. Okay, so I want the vibes to be over here. So we're going to come in and we're going to stamp that. So see how you can take sentiments, and I probably did that off the page, off the screen, I'm sorry. But see how you can take your sentiments, and if they're too long for what you want, you can just mask part of them off, and then you can add them how you want. So another tip for tonight is that whole masking technique, right? All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the inside of the card before we put the front of the card together. Sorry. Okay, so for this, basically, we're going to use another one of this. So it says sending good vibes, and then has this really fun stamp set that says all the love. So we're just going to come in and we're going to use, this is kind of a monochromatic card because I'm using all the same colors besides the white. And I do like doing that once in a while. Boy, I need to get up here. I'm bringing this down too low. So I'm going to stamp that and hope it was centered. Oh, we miss you too, Pat. And I'm so glad you like watching me. But you're having fun with all those grandkids up there. I know that because I see you posting all the time about getting to see those grandkids. And you know me and grandkids. That's like my favorite thing. Okay, so then I just, the same paper that I put on the front, I'm just going to put a strip of that on the bottom. You know, and putting strips on the bottom like this is a really good way of getting rid of all of your little small pieces of scrap that you end up with when you have, when you know you're making other bigger cards. Well, I can't get a hold of that. Okay, so let's, oh look, my fingernail polish matches. Huh? That was not intentional, but cool. All right, so then we're just going to try to be careful since I'm at the, you guys will notice when you get kind of towards the end of your tape dispenser because it tends to be a little bit harder to like put it down. You have to kind of pull a little harder. So this is going to go on the inside like so. And like I said, stay tuned. So don't, when I get done with this card, don't leave because I'm going to show you a bunch of other cards that I made with this suite. Get you guys excited about this one. Okay. So now I'm going to come in. Whoops. I'm dropping things as usual. So I'm going to come in with this. Now, because this has this basically has an embossed part and it's got two pieces. So I want to only put dimensionals on the back on this side over here. So always kind of pay attention when you're putting layers on like this. And make sure that you're aware of the fact that you don't want to put dimensionals on this side because you want it to set level. So I'm just going to come in. Oh, hey, Janet. Okay, so this is my second card, Janet. You'll have to go back and see the first card, but you're going to get to see a bunch of samples that I've made with this suite. This is the Butterfly Kisses suite. Very fun suite. Very 70s vibe, but I took this card completely out of the 70s vibe. And did something a little bit different with this one. All right, so we're going to put this down here. And then we're going to take this one. And those are those fun new Deckled rectangle dies. Fun dies. Like I said, it makes it look like you've torn the... It's not part of this suite, but it is one of the new standalone dies. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to move this so I can see if I'm getting this straight. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to come in and I've got some, I'm going to actually like cut a bunch of these little strips on this side because I want to pop up those butterflies that we cut out. So I only want to be able to put that down this body right here. And you notice that I folded up those wings as well. So I'm just going to take those little strips and we're just going to stick those down the center of that body. And that's all I need to pop that one up. All right, and so this one is going to kind of be, whoops, I kind of bent his wing there, or his antenna. So we're just going to press that one right there. And again, I want it to kind of fold up. Oh, I almost lost this one. I was like, where did it go? Okay, so then we're just going to do the same thing here. And we're just going to pull in these little tiny strips that I've cut. Another reason why we never throw away our dimensionals, right, when we use all of the center, because we can always use the edges. All right, and then I'm going to fold this one up, and I want this one to kind of face this way. Okay, then I'm going to come in, and I'm going to use some of our Pearl Basic Jewels. And of course my Take-A-Pick tool, which is kind of like my right hand, right? And we're just gonna pick some of these up. And this is probably the hardest part of this card right here, and it's not that hard, is trying to get these pearls straight as you go down this body of this butterfly. So we're just gonna add these pearls. And especially since I can't get up over this, I have no clue if I'm getting this straight or not. So there's those. And then for this butterfly, we are going to use the littler. So I use the medium pearls for this body, and then I'm going to use the baby pearls for this little guy. Oh, see, I got that not straight. So we're just going to stick these on here. And then the last thing that we're going to do with this card is we are going to bring in some of these fun flower resins, resin flowers again. And we're going to use the Fresh Freesia ones. And so I'm going to stick one right there. And one right here. And then another little one, whoops, up in this top corner here. Okay, so what do you guys think? There's that card. So sending good vibes. So it's a lot more fancy than the last one. And then the inside says all the love. All right. So just as a reminder, we did this card and this card is what I showed you. So now let's bring in all the other ones. Well, of course you love it. It's purple. That's right. Hey, I know what my girls like, right? I know there's a lot of purple lovers out there. Okay, so are you ready to see the plethora of cards that I have made with this set? So let me bring in this one. So this one, I actually fussy cut this out of the Designer Series paper. And there's me doing that, sending good vibes again. And then I brought in a different sentiment. And then I cut out another little one for that. So there's that one. And then here's another one that I used an embossing folder with, one of the new embossing folders. And this is stamped. And this is the new, what are they called? Stylish Shapes dies. It's got the stitching. And there's the inside of that one. Okay, so kind of the same colors there. So this one is complete, just simple stamping. I did a simple stamping one, and I just stamped this with all of the different designs. See how fun this is, guys? This is just stamping. And there's the inside of that one. I hope you guys are liking this. I'm not seeing any comments. And then here's one that I went totally off script with colors. I wanted to do an anniversary one. And so I just kind of did some very vanilla, and I cut, obviously, the butterflies out and stuck them together. Wishing you a happily ever after. And then this is one of the stamp sets that's in there. So there's that one. And then here's one that I did. I actually tore some of the paper, and I'm using the Designer Series paper. And then this is one of the stamps that's in that set. Are you guys liking these? It's like I'm not seeing anything. Okay, and then here's one that I actually like cut. I don't know if you guys can see. So I cut out these, and then I added these in. I stuck these in here. So here's another one. And then this came from the Amazing, is it Amazing Friends Dies? So you are, and then also cut this one out. Amazing. So there's that one. And then here's my last one with that I made with this set. So again, this was just fussy cut out. And then this is just the Designer Series paper. This is, so all of these little flowers that you see is this die right here. And then I just put the pearls on there. So ta-da, there they are. There's all of the cards made with this beautiful, beautiful bundle and suite. Guys, I love this one. I had so much fun, and all of the bright colors made me so happy. Now I did do a little, you know me, I had to do a couple neutrals, but I did kind of, you know, I had so much fun with these colors. It was, and I'm not a big orange fan, but I liked doing the Calypso Coral. So yay! All right, so remember, I'm going to put this back up. Remember at the very bottom where it says blog, right? stampinjuliebrown.blogspot.com. I will have the directions for every single card I just showed you. Eventually, it takes me a while to get them up there, but they will be there, step-by-step instructions. So if this is a suite that you want, then you will have all the directions to make every single one of the cards that you just saw. It'll be on my blog. All right. So, and then don't forget, you can go to juliebrown.stampinup.net, and then I'm just going to put this up. So there's the number for the suite, and the suite, you get the Designer Series paper, you get those little flower resins, and you get the stamp set and the dies. So that's the number for the suite if you guys are interested in getting that. So yay, fun, huh? So I hope you guys liked those cards. I had so much fun making them. And of course, I am making tons of cards right now because I'm getting ready for that open house this Saturday from 10 until 3, where you guys are going to get to see not just this suite, but a bunch of other suites that I have designed cards for. And I'm hoping to get 9 cards designed for every single suite that I have. I don't think I have every suite, but I have a lot of them. So that's my goal, is to get 9 cards made with every suite, so you guys can see the potential of all of the cards that go with the suites. And if you can't come to the open house, stay tuned to this channel, because I will be demonstrating with all the cards that I've made. I will be demonstrating those on my Tuesday night. So eventually you guys will get to see all of the cards that are in my open house. But hopefully you guys that are here can come, because I would love to see you. But guys, thank you so much. I know time is precious, and I really appreciate all of you guys being here and supporting me. And if you haven't already subscribed or followed or all of that good stuff, please make sure you do that. I am almost to 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please, please, please subscribe. Help me get to 500. And of course, then my next goal will be 1,000, but I'm almost to 500, which is really exciting for me. So yeah, that's at juliebrown.julie's Creative Stamping. If you're watching this on Facebook, go over there and subscribe, because every time I do a video and I upload it to YouTube, it'll say, hey, she's on. You might want to see what she's doing. So again, guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. You guys don't know how much it means to me. It means so much to me. And I love all of you guys. And so everybody have a good week. I'll see some of you on Saturday. And if I don't see you Saturday, be here next Tuesday for some more fun cards. Talk to you soon. Bye.